Back at it again. It's your boy Yasuke Fitness. Sorry about that. With another episode of Gym Check In. So go ahead and check in, guys. Checking in with you guys. Got a lot of updates, got a lot of announcements to make. Doing a lot of new things right now. So, first things first, like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. Like it. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Help me out. Help me fight through this algorithm. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers, guys. Help me out. So, aside from that, what's going on right now and just like fitness for me. So currently I am working on, I'm in contacts with a new coach. Somebody who's going to take me to the next level. I've been coughing a lot. I don't have my water with me right now. It's in my car, but it is what it is. So welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, bro. Welcome to the chat. I don't see the names. If you go ahead and say what's up in the chat, I will. I don't think I'm able to see the names, but what's going on, man? Check in. What's going on? What are you hitting today? What's going on in the gym? So back to what I was explaining. I am acquiring a new coach that's going to take me to the next level. I plan on competing again next year. What's going on, Carlos? What's going on, man? I appreciate you for dropping in, man, saying what's up. I'm just getting a little bit of updates on bodybuilding and fitness for me right now. So I've acquired a new coach. I'm gonna take it to the next level, going to next step up. I'm staying natural. I'm not going to dabble in the realm of PEDs and enhancements and things of that caliber. I don't believe that bodybuilding is going to be like a big long career for me. I like it right now because it keeps me focused, it keeps me disciplined, it pushes me to the next level, and I like to get on stage, and I like the aspect of posing as well. So that's just what bodybuilding is to me. I know a lot of guys out there that are in the bodybuilding space that want to take it to the next level, and that's amazing. I think it's great. Anybody that wants to go ahead and do that, I 100% support them. But I'm going to, slowly work my way through this industry, and I'm not gonna, take it a step further. I'm only working on my second show. So right now I'm trying to grow a lot of size, trying to, build up a lot of that muscle and just redefine my physique. So the next time I get on stage, I have a really, really good physique to present to you guys. So, Carlos, if you have any questions for me, man, anything at all, just go ahead and shoot it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and answer it. You know what I'm saying? This episode today is going to be about just your network, the friends that you keep, the company that you keep, your family and your friends. Do you provide value to your network, and do you benefit from being in your network and around the people that you're around? So go ahead and just if you drop any questions in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. So that was pretty much my update on bodybuilding. I'm also pretty excited right now. I'm launching my first at-home personal training business as well. So as well as online coaching that you guys can go ahead and tap into, a resource that you guys can go ahead and tap into. I'm going to be doing in-person training as well. I'm going to be mainly targeting the older clientele, older demographics, middle-aged to late, late-aged people that are trying to get into fitness and just maintain a healthier lifestyle. I'm not expecting them to just bodybuild and do all kinds of stuff, but what I'm saying, just to maintain a healthier lifestyle and have the convenience of doing it at their home. I'm going to be doing that out here in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas area, and so I'll be a little bit more busier with my schedule. So I'm pretty excited about that. I also wanted to mention that if you guys have a business, or if you guys have an idea of a business, to go for it 100%, man. You never know how things are going to turn out. You never know who's going to watch you. You don't know who's going to actually buy and invest into you. Always, always, always take that leap of faith, man. Calculated risk, though. You know what I'm saying? Calculate your risk. Make sure that when you take your risk, man, you're doing it to the best of your abilities. Do it to the best of your abilities, and do it with the least amount of upfront cost. You shouldn't be spending thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to start your first business, especially if your first one. Especially if it's your first one. It should cost little to no money up front so that you could focus on actually growing it and actually becoming the person to have a business. Now, all that out of the way, today's topic of the video is your network. Friends, family, do you provide value to your network? And do you benefit from being in your network? So your network is going to dictate, I'd say about close to like 80 to 85% of your outcomes. The kind of people that you associate yourself and that you be around and that you keep yourself around is going to determine about 80 to 85% of your outcome. And I say that from my own experience, growing up. I'll start from back when I was in high school, right? Back in high school, I didn't hang out with people that were doing drugs and doing bullshit, skipping school and shit like that, right? So I hung out with guys that actually give a fuck about their life and people that actually like cared about, people around them. So I built a really tight network in high school, and we're still friends to today. We still chat, we still hang out, we still visit each other, and a lot of what we do together, it's always been about building, it's always been about growing, and we never stay stagnant. And if any of us ever fall into a position to where we know that, like, hey man, like you're getting a little stagnant, you need to start growing, you need to start moving, you need to start doing something, we mention it to them, we let them know, we bring them out of the funk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, guys. Shout out to them if they're watching. Shout out to you guys. We call ourselves EXOD, which stood for Extraordinary Dancers. We were a dance group back in high school, and we had a good time. And we're still very close today because we always push each other to grow. And there's been very few people that I've met along my path that have been as focused as that group of people, and that's why I've always stayed very close to them, because I knew that by sticking close to these guys and always being in contact with these guys, I'm going to grow myself and I'm going to allow them to grow as well. So there's that. So moving on into like the military. I was in the military. Happy Veterans Day, by the way. It is November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. Shout out to all the veterans out there, man. That is a hard ass job. I'm gonna let you know that straight up. Being a veteran, United States Navy, Army, Marines, Air Force, maybe the Coast Guard. I don't really know too much about the Coast Guard, but hey, different strokes for different folks. But if you are going to join the military, join the Navy. Anyways, shout out to them. Shout out to the men and women that are serving right now, man, because I'm telling you right now, especially in these times, it must be a bitch to be out there, especially if you're out to sea, if you're out to deployment, if you're being deployed all over the world and you got to do all these missions and detachments and things like that, man. That shit is really hard. It takes a lot out of you. So shout out to them and their families, right? Shout out to the fallen ones too, because not everybody makes it back home. Not everybody, unfortunately, lives to throughout their enlistment and their time serving in the military. That's a sacrifice that people. It's a sacrifice that we make when we sign up. When we swear and we pledge our allegiance. So shout out to those guys too. Rest in peace. Anyways, when I was in the military, I also did not hang around with people that were doing bullshit, right? So there was a lot of bullshit in the military, man. You had people. I was being exposed. I was 18 years old, being exposed to people from all around the world, all around the country, man. It was a really humbling experience, but a lot of people were on some bullshit, man. Bullshit. There was guys taking drugs, getting kicked out. There was guys doing all kinds of shit. There was guys, you know, just mishand like doing all kinds of stuff to like women and like drunk driving and shit like that. Dude, I'm telling you, I stayed most of my time inside when I was in the Navy, man, because I knew for a fact if I hung out with these guys, I'm gonna get my ass kicked out. I'm gonna get my ass sent home, and I couldn't get sent back home, man. I did not want to bring shame to my family. I did not want to bring shame to my name, so I stayed my ass inside, and I did my own thing for a while. I made my friends and I made my circle. I had my group, and we did some pretty cool shit together. And we always, held each other accountable too, man. We never let each other bullshit, and we always helped each other out. So I always naturally gravitated towards the people that were going to benefit me the most. They're going to benefit me the most. And I always walked away from people that were like, you know, just doing debauchery shit. It's just debauchery. It's absolute debauchery. That's as best as I can explain it. There was a guy that I met, and I don't know if he's still good or if he's still alive, or I don't know where he's at right now. But I was in the Navy at the time, and he just joined. I was a few years in, and he came to my work center. And the moment I heard this man talk, I knew. I was like, yeah, bro, this guy is gonna get in trouble. He's gonna be an issue. He's gonna do some bullshit, like, and he's gonna get caught up, and we're gonna just find out about it in the news or some shit like that. Sure enough, he ends up doing some bullshit. Ends up drunk driving, gets a DUI, and doesn't get kicked out for it. But because once you're at a certain point in the Navy, they don't really want to kick you out. They really don't want to kick you out because you're a worker. So it's like, that's work. You don't want to kick out, the manpower. So they, I forgot what they did with him, but I know he ended up like getting caught with like drugs and stuff like that, and doing drugs and shit like that. And it's like, you should know off the bat who's going to be doing what. You should know off the bat who's going to be on some bullshit, who's going to fuck up, who's going to, lead a life of just chaos. And it's like, bro, I don't want to be around that. And that's another part of the reason why I didn't date women in the military. And I ain't got nothing wrong with the women in the service. Nothing wrong with y'all, you know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't for me. That's pretty much what it was. Most of the women that I met while I was in the military that were serving, there was no way. So I quickly understood that I actually didn't date anybody that was like in the military. I'm trying to think now. Damn. I actually wasn't with anyone that was in the military. I didn't that just wasn't it. I just knew it wasn't for me. So that's also another part of your circle, is the woman that you're going to be with and the girls that you date and stuff like that. Can you handle that environment? Can you handle the environment or whatever they bring and things like that? So me personally, I wasn't going to date a girl that was in the military serving, and that was just me. But anyways, moving on, just from my anecdotal experience and things like that, I've always been around the people that I always knew who was going to be high performers. It was the people that asked the questions. It was people that actually did the little bit of the extra credit, the little bit of the extra work, people that went above and beyond, people that actually cared about the people that they were around. I knew that those people were the best to be around, and I always surrounded myself with them. And if I couldn't surround myself with people like that, I stayed my ass alone, stayed my ass by myself. Because when you go out there looking for some shit, you go out there trying to find some shit, bro, the shit gonna find you. and you're gonna end up in some bullshit, man. A few times I almost ended up in some bullshit. Back when I was in the Navy, I actually almost got arrested, man. I mean, I didn't get arrested. I almost got like complete. I almost got sent to, we call it captain's mast, and what it is, it's literally like you dress up in your dress uniforms and you gotta like stand in front of like officers and chiefs and stuff. It's a disciplinary board where they pretty much shit on you and hem you up and destroy your whole freaking mindset and shit like that. And you gotta pretty much give your alibi and give your story on what the fuck happened and shit. Almost got sent to captain's mast because I went out one night with a couple of friends. It was three of us. No, it was me plus three other guys, so it's four in total. Went to a bowling alley. Honestly, I didn't even want to go. I don't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. I didn't even want to fucking go, bro. But these guys were like, "Oh, come on, let's go to the bowling alley. Let's have a good time." I was like, "All right, cool. Let's go out to the bowling alley." So these guys ended up drinking. I didn't drink. I did not drink one drop of alcohol. These guys ended up drinking, bowling, had a good time, sang karaoke and shit like that. And then afterwards is when shit started to get really bad. You know, one of the guys was like, "Hey, let's go to this party," right? And I was like, I don't think I really want to do that. But he was like, "No, no, no, no. Let's go to this party." You know, it was his car that we drove, and I was driving. It was his car, so he's like, "Yo, we're gonna go to this party." I couldn't really do shit about it because I didn't have my car. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was like, "All right." So I drove these guys to this party, man. It wasn't even a party. It was terrible. It was literally everybody that was like at the command, getting drunk and doing bullshit and just doing debaucherous shit, man. Debaucherous shit, dog. And he ended up getting in a fight with some dude, bro. He ended up freaking, I guess some dude ended up hitting a girl. He punched this girl, man, and then he ended up fighting this dude and like beat the fuck out of this dude, and he was like bleeding and shit. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on, man? So he was a part of my group. So once whatever group that you're a part of, when you go out, you're being held accountable for each of them, right? So I ended up we had to do a bunch of shit, man. Like we had to like fix the logs because you have to log out and do all kinds of stuff. And I know I'm getting super detailed in the story, but we had to like fix the logs and stuff because the two guys that ended up fighting that one guy in my group got arrested. They got arrested and they spent the night in jail that night. And mind you, I'd say this is about 4 or 5 months into being in the military. 4 or 5 months being in the military. It's like, yo, this is crazy. So it was pouring rain that night. It was fucking absolutely pouring rain. It was terrible. Got back, you know what I'm saying? It was shitty, whatnot. And luckily, they didn't put my name on. They didn't like say anything about my name, right? Because I would have gotten sent to like disciplinary board as well, and possibly gotten kicked out. They didn't get kicked out though, so I'm glad. I'm happy for them. The fact that they didn't get kicked out of the military at that time. But it's situations like that where you're around people that are going to lead you down terrible paths, man. I was just there by association. And had I not been there, I would have not been in that bullshit, right? But also sometimes you can't avoid the bullshit with some of the people that you're around, right? You can't avoid the bullshit. Bullshit's gonna eventually find you at some point in time, right? And in those situations, I'm not saying you're gonna have to deal with some shit. You might have to deal with a guy that's ready to fight you or some bullshit, or I don't know. Like there's all kinds of shit that can happen out there. It's a jungle out here. That's the way I reference this society, the places that we live in, shit like that. It's a jungle. So at any point in time, anybody could just decide that they want to like do some bullshit and fight you or even try to take your life. Like some people are just messed up in the head. They sometimes you can't avoid that shit. So uh hopefully when that bullshit finds you, you're around people that you can trust, and your circle is a couple of strong guys that that can handle some shit, and you guys handle your fucking business. So moving on from that, though, moving on from the experiences in the military, uh the circle that you're with, man, it's so important, it's so critical. And now I'm at this point in time in my life right now where my circle is very small, very very small circle. Aside from the guys that I go know online, and the guys that that I chat with online. I know Carlos just dropped into the chat. He's a Red Pill Lions guy, NFT holder. I'm also a holder as well. If you guys are interested, uh, go ahead and send me. Go ahead and just drop it in the chat if you guys are interested at all. I can go ahead and link you up with whoever you need to talk to become a holder, because it's a very good opportunity to be a part of a group of men that actually give a fuck about their lives and want to actually prosper. So that's just another part of networking, right? So as we move into the more and more into the digital age of AI and shit like that, you have things like NFTs and blockchain and stuff like that that will allow you and give you access to networks of people that are better for your growth. So an NFT like Red Pill Lions is something that can really help out guys that find themselves in shitty situations and just life in general and things like that. So we got guys that work out like me. I'm always checking on the guys working out and things like that. You guys talking about money, finances, guys talking about relationships, stuff like that. You got, it's a whole network, whole group of men, and we all hold the NFT, Red Pill Lions, and that's what it is. So I definitely join it if you are one of the people that need something like that, and I would say just join it regardless. It's a great network of people to be around. So um moving on from that, the reason why I say it's about 85%, you 80 the network that you have is going to determine 85% of your outcome, is because the people that you hang around are going to influence your actions and your thoughts. There's no way around it. People that you hang out with and things like, and they're going to influence you to do things. They're going to influence your thoughts, and then you're going to influence your actions. So if you're hanging around with 5 millionaires, you're bound to be the sixth. That is the truest statement that could ever be told. You got people that think money. You hang out with them long enough, you're gonna be thinking about money. You got guys that think about muscles and gains, looking good in the gym, health. You hang out with them, you're going to be thinking about that. You hang out with me, and you're gonna start working out. If you hang out with me, you got to work out. Like, you have to be in the gym with me, man, because I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Let's go to the gym. Oh, what are you doing? Yo, hey, let's go do this. So um, that's really the outcome that you're gonna get, is the people that you're around. You hang around 5 people that are doing drugs. Well, you probably might end up doing these drugs and fuck yourself up or some shit like that. You got 5 people doing bullshit, you're gonna be the 6th person doing the bullshit. That's just how it works, man. And if you decide that's what the fuck you want to do, hey, we live in America. You can do whatever the fuck you want. We live in America, bro. You can do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. If you want to fuck up your life, that's on you, bro. It's on you. But the guys who really give a fuck and care about their future, care about the people that they're around, they'll survive, and they'll keep it pushing, 100%. They're always gonna keep moving. They're always gonna keep grinding. A lot of those guys are gonna be watching this video right here. So everybody that's watching this video, you're looking to improve your life in some way, shape, or form by listening to this video. So don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate it, man. But what else did I want to talk about? Just more anecdotal experiences, of just how being around great people inspire you and determine the outcomes that you get out of life. So the group of friends that I grew up with back in high school, we decided to start a tradition where we on a certain date of the year, we get together and we talk about everything that we're going to do 1 year from now. We talk about all of the things that we aspire to be, all the goals that we aspire to have, and everything. And we write it down. We take record of it, and we have 365 days to get closer to those goals. And on that day, a year from now, a year from that day, we're going to talk about everything that we did, what brought us closer to the goals, ups and downs, pitfalls, etc. And we're going to plan another year to grow from there. I think that's a very good tradition that a lot of friends, a lot of people can adopt. And if you guys are really serious about growth, you guys are really serious about getting better, you guys would do things like that. In fact, you don't if those people that you're with are actually your friends, you guys would implement something like that. We're getting older, man. Time is passing, and if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So the people that you keep around you have to constantly be making you better, have to constantly be allow you to grow, and you have to constantly be providing value to them. That's what I was going to talk about right there. I'm glad I mentioned it. Providing value to your group. So a lot of guys be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, what do I do? Da, 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 da. You're good at something. You're good at whatever you do. You're good at something. You have interest in something, right? You have to be able to expound your interest to the people in your network. You have to be able to give that to people in your network. So a lot of the guys in my network, right, they want to train, get healthy, look right, stay in the gym, stay disciplined. So that's one aspect of value that I provide to my network and the group of people that are around. I'm constantly trying to improve them. I'm constantly trying to make them better through fitness and exercise. We work out, we grind, we push each other, we do boxing, we do cardio, we check up on each other. That's the value that I provide to the network. Other guys would provide value in terms of financial coaching and financial, discipline. Other guys provide value in just being positive. You can provide value to the group by just being positive, being that positive voice for people to hear. Because a lot of people just need to hear somebody positive, need to hear somebody that's down to earth, optimistic. That's somebody that's always going to, push the narrative. Once they hear somebody like that, they have the motivation and determination to inspire to achieve their goals. So they're gonna want you around. That's how it works. That's how the network works. You have to provide value. If you want to go up, climb the socioeconomic ladder and be around people in a certain sphere, you have to provide value to those people. You have to be able to implement parts of your life into other people's lives. So if you're really good at dieting and nutrition, you could do that for the people that are around you. If you're a DJ, if you're an entertainer, or anything like that, you could do that for the people around you. If you simply just know a lot of people and you can connect your network to other people, that's providing value. So you want to be able to provide something to the group. You don't want to just linger and be there and soak up resources. That's you're going to look like a weak link in the chain. You don't want to be a weak link in the chain. You always want to constantly, I don't know what that was. You want to constantly be improving, constantly getting better. So And lastly, the last thing that I want to mention, I'm coming up on 30 minutes here. So the last thing I want to mention is mentoring. So that's another part of your network that you need to figure out as well is how many people do you know have already done what you want to go do? That's very important. You want to get close enough to the people that have already done what you want to go do, and you want to get very acquainted with them. You want to learn from them. So you're not necessarily in the network, right? In their network, you are, you're just very close to them. You know what I'm saying? You might hit them up once a week. You might check in with them once a month. You might give them updates on what you're doing. You might ask them for advice. You might ask them, you know, how would you go about this situation? Or simply you want what they got. They might have successful businesses. They might have successful relationships. They might have, successful fitness careers. So they're either trainers and things like that that have that value that you already want, and you're trying to learn from them. That's very important. Knowing people and being around people that's already done what you want to do, already done what you aspire to go do. That's also part of your network. So how to find that is very difficult. How to find that is very difficult. And I'm not gonna lie, finding mentors, you're just gonna have to explore your environment. You're gonna have to explore the places that you would end up finding a person like this. You're gonna have to explore that. You're gonna have to figure that out one day at a time. But once you find that person that has done what you've done, you're gonna know, and you're gonna want to do everything in your power to learn from that person and get to know that person. And hopefully, they're an actual, kind person that would like impart some information to you, so that you're not going to struggle on your way up, right? So not everybody's that kind. Some people, and like, could you really blame them? If they don't want to share information with you, you can't really blame them. There's no reason to be upset about it. Just always be humble too, because they might change their minds later, and you never know. So if you blow somebody off, you know, if you burn that bridge, then that bridge is burnt. But if you leave the bridge up, if you leave the lines of communication up, then that's always a potential in the future. So that's pretty much all I got to really say about this topic. You know, your network. Do you provide value? Are you benefiting from them? So your friends. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention the last thing. The last thing was family. Family is your main network. I got some water right. I need to drink some water. Family is your main network. Oh my god. For a lot of people, some people don't have families, and that's okay. That's all right. You're gonna have to figure out a way to get acquainted with people that can simulate people that would be on a family level, and that's a lot harder. And those experiences that honestly I don't even know how I would navigate that, because I had a pretty loving family and loving parents. So um I don't know what to tell you about that. Hit me up if you don't got family, and I'll be that mentor and be that person. So DM me on Instagram, man. Hit me up. Uh, Family, man. So about family, family is one of the toughest things to navigate, because you're supposed to be very close to your family. You're supposed to like really ride for your family because of your blood. You guys are kinfolk. You guys are kin. You know what I'm saying? I'm related to you. There's my cousin, there's my uncle, there's my auntie, there's my brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. But not everybody's going to be beneficial to you. Not everybody in your family is going to be beneficial to you. And a lot of people already know that. A lot of people already experience that. And that's a tough pill to swallow, man. It's a tough pill to swallow. You're going to have to understand that not all your family is going to be on your side, even if you have good intentions. You know, especially if you're the person that ends up, you know, building a successful business or having a successful career and becoming massively wealthy. You're gonna have to deal with that. You know, they're your kinfolk, so you don't want to abandon them. But at the same time, are you gonna pay people salary? Are you gonna give people salary just because you're blood? You can't do that. You know, it's impossible. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have the desire to even do that, and they shouldn't even ask that from you, because that's kind of fucked up. You know, for them to eat off of your success when they didn't put any effort into really who you are, you know. But there are going to be the family members that actually put in time and effort into your growth. You know, number one is most of us is our mothers. Our mother's the one that we were born, and they're always going to love us, and they're always going to see us as a little boy or whatever the case is. Mom's always going to be mom, and that's fine, you know. And you should always take care of your mom, especially if she took care of you. You should take care of your mom. That's your network right there too. You know, if I need something, if I truly need help, I know I can call my mom and ask for help in any situation if I really needed it. So I'm really glad that I have my mom. And the second is obviously your dad. A lot of guys never grew up with a dad, but you know, the guys that did, some of them, uh you know, you're gonna have to rely on your dad as well. That's also, it's your network. Those are the people that you communicate with all the time. Brothers and sisters, depending on what kind of relationship you have, she could be really good or it could be really poor. I've seen people that have brothers or sisters that don't talk at all, and that makes no sense to me. Like my brothers, like we have a holy trinity, because the three of us, we have a holy trinity, man. And it's like, yo, we can't let this bond break, because if this bond breaks, then any other bond that you make from here on out to the day you die, what is it even worth? The people that you were born with, that you came from the same womb with, grew up with, played, had freaking fun, did all that shit, grew up with, if you can't maintain that relationship and be in good terms with each other when you grew up with each other and trust each other, then what is every other relationship that you ever make? What reason do those people have to what reason do you have to trust those people? What reason do those people have to trust you? Etc. So if you do have a good relationship with your brothers and sisters, you should maintain that shit, because it's going to always end in your benefit. It's always going to end in you getting better. I'm telling you, man. So that's all I had, man. That's all I had about the network. That's all I had about this episode. Um, some closing final thoughts. Uh, Pay very close attention to the people that you spend most of your time around. Pay so close attention to that, man. Are you getting? Are you benefiting? Are you truly becoming something better by maintaining those relationships? Or are you getting worse? How are you going to change that? How are you going to provide value to the people that you're around? What are you going to provide in their life? You're going to provide positivity. You're going to provide comfort. You're going to provide discipline. Are you going to provide, resources? Are you going to provide, you know, whatever it is, whatever it is? There has to be a value exchange. Nobody wants to be around people that have no value to exchange. And happiness and positivity is a commodity. Trust. People want to be around very positive people. So if you just maintain yourself as a positive person and you could spread that to other people, people are gonna want you in their circle. That's just how people like to be around that. People don't want to be around pessimistic people that are complaining and bullshitting all the time. They're like, come on, you're not gonna want to be around that. So maintain positive relationships with the people that you love, your family, your friends. Set goals with each other, help each other grow, and I mean that's all I have for you guys. So that was episode 6. Gym check-in, man. Go ahead and drop a like on the video. Help me grow. I'm trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers. This channel is going to be very different later on. Right now, we are just working on the foundation, the layout, and things like that. I don't have a studio. This is my room that I'm in right now. That's my bed. That's where I sleep. So this is me right now. This is Yasuke Fitness, and that was Gym check-in, man. Let me know what you guys are working out today. Today, I'm going to be working out. What am I going to be working out today? It's going to be leg. I need to be moving on to legs for the week. Right now, it's not. It hasn't been as structured. I'm still in the gym. I'm still pushing myself, but it's not as structured right now. That's why I'm going for my new coach that I mentioned in the beginning, so that I can grow. So, but right now I'm moving into the lower body parts for the rest of the week. Today's Friday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day, guys. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. So, I'm signing out. That was Gym check-in, man. Yasuke Fitness. I'm out. Peace.